Awesome.
Oh,
So we
okay,
should,
Frank.
awesome. Thank you. So this is a meeting of the Recreation Committee of Hanson. The time is 6:36 on January 31st, 2022. In attendance, I'm going to do roll call. We have Melissa,
Here.
Sheila,
Here.
Audrey,
Here.
and then Frank. And then also in attendance, we have Dory, Maddie, and Roger. Roger Means, and then we also have Denise Hall. Awesome. So first order of business is the approval of the minutes from January 19th. Did everybody get a chance to look at them? Does anybody have any things that they want to change on those? No. Okay, cool. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the meeting minutes from January 19th.
Second.
A second. Okay, and then all those in favor, I'll go in order. So Melissa,
Yes.
Sheila,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. So those are approved. Awesome. Okay, so first order of new business. So we have Mrs. Hall, fourth grade field trip in June. That's here to discuss. In full disclosure, she is my, like we just discussed, she is my son's teacher. So go ahead, Mrs. Hall.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Because my camera's not working.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, all right, so what we're hoping to do is we're trying to create some traditions for the fourth graders because they're going to be transitioning to the middle school. So this is a big year for them. And what we're hoping to do is have like a fun day at Camp Kiwanee. So I had a list of questions from Dory. Do you want an overview of what we're thinking and then we can jump from there?
Yeah,
Is
I think
that
an
easier?
overview. Yeah, I think
Okay.
an overview of what you're thinking, and then we can kind of answer questions as
Okay.
you have them come up.
Yeah, so we're hoping to celebrate within the community because I think there are some kids who may never have been there and there are some kids who probably spend their summers there. So what we're hoping to do is the whole fourth grade, which is probably about 120 students, teachers, staff, and specialists, we're going to leave about 9:30 as our hope, walk to Camp Kiwanee. We're going to spend the day there and then return back to Indian Head. Would probably leave about 2 o'clock and get back to Indian Head after that. Between say 9:45 and 2 o'clock, we're hoping to plan different fun activities for the kids to do. So some of the questions that we would need addressed is like, we would need access to bathrooms. Do we have to pay someone to be there? I don't know if the lodge is open. So some of the activities we were thinking of is like bingo, which would be in the lodge. So I would wonder if you had like tables and chairs. We would do like a picnic lunch outside. If I remember correctly, outside the lodge, there's picnic tables, and we were hoping to have the ice cream truck come so the kids can have a fun snack there. Down in the Cranberry Cove area, I know there's single bathrooms. And there used to be a volleyball net, so we're not sure if the volleyball net will still have access. We're going to have Miss Gordon, the adjustment counselor, is going to be doing like a nature walk. Along with bingo, we were going to do some games too, like minute to win it. I remember years ago when you go down to Camp Kiwanee to the right, there was another building where you could have kids in there too. It was part of a camping area. It wasn't like a camp site, but it was at the end there. I don't know what it was called, but I know there was another building as well. And basically we would have a bunch of activities. We have enough staff from Indian Head to watch the kids and provide the activities, but I'm just wondering, like, do you have somebody there during the day? Oh, also I had questions about like trash. Do I take the trash with me? Things like that. Is that enough information? I'm looking at my notes. Yep.
Yeah, that should be enough information.
Oh,
So I
okay.
mean, for first, the rent of the facility, like using the facility, you guys are,
Yeah,
are,
like,
are a town department, so you guys do not have to pay for the rent and use of the facility.
oh,
When it
okay.
comes to caretakers, I don't know if we'll have to vote on that, Dory, to see if we can give them the caretakers so they can use that. How many? I mean, I'm not sure how many people would even need that, to be honest. So
Well, that's during Dory. Dory will be there anyway, right? To
Yeah,
open
during the
camp.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there anyway.
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
but do we need
And-
additional caretakers to like set stuff up and do things like that and help with trash and things like that? Maddie, I see Maddie's over there.
But-
We
Looking
can
at-
set it up
Right.
beforehand and clean up after they're gone, like
Mhm.
on different hours. We don't have to be in attendance unless Dory wants us there. But as long as we
No,
open everything and set up everything ahead of time, we don't need
Yeah.
to be there.
Right. And then the trash will just be removed. Yep. When it's removed. Yeah.
I don't know if the volleyball nets are still down. I haven't seen them at the beach. Go ahead, Maddie.
There's not one at the beach. There might have used to been one at the beach. I think there used to be, but I don't think it's up there now. But there is one in the south end. It just needs to be raked out, but it's next to the pavilion. Like if you like down that little swoop, there's a volleyball net right there that's set up. It just needs to be raked from leaves from the winter season.
Okay.
I don't know when they're coming.
Awesome, Audrey.
I think we should have at least 1 or 2 caretakers on site, just because it seems like there's going to be a lot of kids and just a lot going on. And then there could be a point person so that if, the teachers need anything, I think that would be important. I don't necessarily think we should charge for that, but I definitely think that we should have at least 1 or 2 caretakers on for the day, especially where they're going to be scattered all over. If somebody gets lost or, just any reason really.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think having
Yeah,
1 or
I
2
will
caretakers there just to.
that would be nice. Nobody will get lost. I definitely will have enough staff for that. I promise I'm not losing any children. But like I said, in regards to like trash or bathroom or any questions like that, we can come and set up the tables and things like that for bingo. I just need to know, this is another thing. If it's pouring buckets on June 1st, could we tentatively have a rain date of June 2nd?
Do we have anything in the calendar for the 2nd or the 1st or the 2nd that would conflict with this story?
I don't have the calendar now. Maddie, do you? Do you know if there's anything on the 2nd?
So Wednesday, Thursday.
The first would only Drama Kids and Yoga would be after, and then there's a bridal cottage rental, but that's it.
Oh, okay. So that wouldn't interfere.
They'd just be in their own space.
Yeah.
Surrounded by 150 fourth graders.
Okay.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good. I mean, the only thing that you probably wouldn't be able to do, Mrs. Hall, is have like I don't know if you're planning on this, but having kids in the water and things like that. Like I don't think you need
No.
lifeguards and things like that. So
No, we've decided we're not doing any swimming because we don't know the swimming ability of 150 kids. So like we're not swimming at all.
okay, so I will so when it comes to caretakers, I have no issue having us pay for the caretaker fee for that for let's say 2 caretakers for either the 1st or the 2nd, depending on the rain date. Melissa, you have your hand up, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, I don't know if insurance reason, are you guys going to be on the beach, Mrs. Hall? Is that what you said?
Well, I thought we would do volleyball because I haven't been there in a long time with my kids, but if the net isn't at the beach, I can stay completely away from the beach.
Yeah, because I don't know. We'd have to check with probably the TA. I mean, if someone's on the beach or using the beach, is that an insurance liability? If just say someone falls in the water or goes on the dock or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yep, that's a valid point. We can stay away from the beach too. It's Cranberry Cove, right? So the area with the fence there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could walk right by Cranberry Cove, go up to the lodge area.
Mhm.
There's enough space up there that we could do our nature walk and all that, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll check with my principal too, just to confirm all that, but.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, so with that being said, I'll go ahead and entertain. I'll do this in 2 motions. So one motion will be to approve the use of 2 caretakers without charging the 4th grade field trip a fee, and then the second one will be just use of the facility on the 1st and then rain date on the 2nd. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the field trip for June 1st or the rain date of June 2nd for Mrs. Hall's 4th grade field trip in June, obviously. Sorry, I'm a little off today.
Mhm.
I need a second for that, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Okay. And then do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, awesome. So roll call, I'll do Melissa,
Yes.
Sheila,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. Okay, great. And then I will entertain a motion to have 2 caretakers attend that field trip session and with no fee.
So moved.
Okay. And a second.
Second.
Awesome. So okay. All those in favor, Melissa,
Aye.
Sheila,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
and I am a yes also. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Mrs. Hall.
Okay, now is my communication going to be Dory should I send her an email when we have and then she'll share it with you guys?
Yep,
All right, so
exactly.
we'll have we'll have a schedule and everything, all that, we'll work everything out and then I'll forward it to Dory and then she'll share it with you.
Yep.
Perfect.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah. And if I have any questions like that, just go directly to Dory.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a great night. I appreciate everything. That's really generous of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank you.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. I don't see Roger from Roger's Wicked Fun Tours for the kayak rental discussion this season. So I don't know if we should pass over that or table that until next meeting. Was he planning on attending, Dory?
Yeah, he was planning on attending. He said he would be here. So, yeah, I mean, there's no great rush. I know he just wanted to,
Okay.
up his fees from $20 to $25 and start earlier, but I don't know why he's not here. So, I mean, we can table it to the next meeting for sure.
Okay. And I know that Deb Bloss for yoga is not here as well, or the person that's supposed to be
Deb-
representing her.
Debbie's mother passed away, so she's not joining, but Trisha Dransfield is joining in her place. And
Okay.
Trisha just texted me asking me if we were at Kiwanee, so she didn't know we were Zoom meeting. She's running home and logging in, so she'll join in a few minutes.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just pass over for that
Yeah.
for right now and come back to it. Okay, so next would be a discussion on the submission of the fiscal year 2023 town meeting articles. Dory, do you want to take this at other than the?
Yeah,
ahead,
I mean,
sorry.
yeah, sure, of course. That was on the agenda. I think it's kind of like a blanket. The next was, as far as I know, unless anybody else had anything specific on that. So I know in my mind, there were two. There was one of some discussion on submission of town meeting article, reducing the commission members from 7 to 5, and then possible discussion on a submission of a capital plan article. And then I guess if there is any other articles that anybody thought, we should submit. So unless there's any other
Yeah.
articles out there that anybody thinks we should submit, we should probably go to the reducing the commission from
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
7 to
Does
5.
anybody have any articles that they think they want to submit for town meeting or anything like that? No. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of just a blanket one till March 4th that we'll have in there. That's just in case anybody has anything that they want to submit or something like that. So
Yep.
Okay. So the next one will be discussion of the submission town meeting to reduce the commission from 7 to 5 people. My personal opinion is 7 people is too much for one committee. It takes a lot of decision making with 7 people back and forth, but I am all open to any suggestions or anything like that that people have for that town meeting article. Does anybody have an opinion on
I
it? Or
agree. No, I think 7's a lot. So I think whittling it down to a 5-member board will make things more efficient.
okay, Melissa?
I mean, I just think, it's been advertised for what, a couple of months now, and we haven't gotten anybody. So, yeah, 5
Okay.
is fine with me.
Okay, Sheila?
I'm fine with that. What happens to the 2 people that, Audrey, did you say that there was someone else besides Carolyn Mills, another
I
Caroline?
think Carolyn Marshman submitted paperwork, submitted an application. She's the only one that I know of that submitted something. I don't know what would happen.
So well, everybody who gets appointed to the committee or a board or anything like that gets a term associated with them for what. So it would, I'm almost certain that it'd be the next 2 people up would be the ones that would not be able to continue after the fiscal year. Dory, is that what it is, or is it the town meeting?
Yeah,
Well,
the appointments are, fiscal year, and they're staggered. Yep.
So if we had 7 people on the committee, the 2 people with the nearest terms up would be the ones that would not be able to continue after the fiscal year.
And
So-
that would be contingent on a town meeting vote as well.
Correct. Yep. That'd be a town meeting vote. They would have to get approved through that. So if nobody has an issue with that, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to submit a town meeting article, reducing the recreation committee from 7 members to 5.
So moved.
Okay. I have a second.
Second,
Awesome. All those in favor, Melissa,
aye.
Sheila,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
and I'm an aye. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and get that in. And then the discussion for submission of the capital plan article. So I think we might have to do a little bit more digging on this, Dory, about when it comes to like what we can use the capital plan. I know we can use it for like you were saying today, the cabins and things like that, but I don't know if we can use it for like the beach. I think the beach would be a really good thing to do it on also.
I
but-
think
Yeah.
I think we can use it on
Yeah.
anything. We can submit anything that we want. It's just whether or not they're going to accept it as one of their capital improvement projects for the year. So
Right.
just because we submit, you know, a request for something doesn't mean that we're going to get it. But, you know, it's just every department submits and then they decide based on what they have available and the needs, you know, the urgency from other areas as a whole, who gets the money.
Right, exactly right. If I may, Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
since we spoke, I did a little research and it is a new construction, expansion, renovation, or replacement project for an existing facility or facilities. So the project must have a total cost of at least $10,000, which ours would. And they're looking for the 5-year, 2023 to 2027. So we could think about it because they're not due until March 4th, but it could be, I'm just thinking the cabins, you know, the north end and the south end, a total rehabilitation of the cabins and the cove, you know, simultaneously over 5 years is something that we might want to think about. Those are the two things that come to my mind.
Okay. Melissa?
Dory, I don't know. We put together a capital, some items in the past. And I know that like the caretaker's cottage by the entrance there, we had talked about, you know, that's a disaster. That's a
Yep.
huge project that could be put on the list.
Yep.
I don't know what we've had on the list in the past.
We had the kitchen,
Okay, right.
and then we had the wiring. So we did get both
Right,
of those
okay,
2 years
right.
ago. We got both of those.
Yeah,
And we
But-
didn't put in for anything after that.
right. The electrical system, right?
Correct.
And that
Yes.
hasn't been done. I mean, it's still knob and tube, like all changing that to like replace.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes, that hasn't been touched yet.
right.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
Audrey?
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, Frank. So I think maybe like that project, I mean, the electrical system is really, really old. You know, changing that out from knob and tube, and then maybe the caretaker's house project.
Because we still have the funding for the knob and tube, Melissa. We have 50,000 for that. We just haven't done the knob and tube yet.
Oh, okay.
We've ticked away at it a little bit with other things. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's on the list to try to get an electrician to do the whole knob and
Yeah.
tube.
Well, we
Thanks.
do have the
But-
funding for that already, right?
Correct.
Do we have to use that by a certain time, Dory?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I mean, so I'm sorry, Audrey, I'll go to you. I just want to make it so the priority items, like the caretaker's house might be a priority, but I don't know if that would be top list, right? Or it could be, you know, I'm not sure, but go ahead, Audrey.
Mine was on the caretaker house. So mine would be maybe an engineering plan, asking for an engineering plan on what needs to be done. I mean, we can't go to them and say that we want all of these things done to the caretaker house because we don't know what needs to be done to the caretaker house. But maybe if we ask for funding to have an engineer come in and tell us what the house needs in order to be usable again, maybe that's something that we could ask for. Because that is going to be important because that house is on the historic commission register. So, you know, I mean, it's something that we have to maintain. And it's also, you know, we could probably, once we know what needs to be done with it, we could probably look into some grants, historic grants and things like that to do the actual work.
Okay, Melissa?
yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that, Audrey. You know, we could reach out for some grants or some, you know, funding to revamp that because it's on the registry. So that's an option. But
Okay.
again, I mean, yeah, the funding, I don't know how much an engineering plan would cost, you know, I don't know if that would fall under a capital, asking for an engineering drawing. I don't know if that would fall under a capital ask.
I mean,
Yeah.
so conservation submitted a meeting article in order to have a report done on the ponds and things like that. So if we wanted to do that, wouldn't we have to submit an article to request the engineer go there and do that, Dory? I'm not. So I would imagine any reports or something like that's not really an improvement. It's more of kind of a discovery. So you wouldn't be able to really use it as an improvement, I guess.
Yeah, you could request a separate article for an engineering study for the gatehouse. That could be a separate article if that's something that we wanted to do.
And how, so, okay, so, but didn't we, so Audrey, didn't we also need an engineering plan or something like that for the, that the conservation wanted for the beach?
Yes, well, not for the, yes,
Or for the drainage on
for
the beach,
drainage,
rather,
for
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
I wonder if we had an engineer that could do both. Well, I mean, it's different engineering, right? It's one's a structural engineer and the other one's more of a, okay. I think that's probably a good plan is to submit for, if we need to take care of the caretaker's house, but on that, we should probably get a list of things that we would want to do for capital improvement. If the beach can be done with it, like we should do the beach with it. If, you know, the cabins need to be refinished, we should do the cabins, caretaker house, and then we can kind of go from there. And go through all that. So can we put this on, we'll put this on the next agenda and we'll kind of go through it a little bit more about what we think, you know, the plans are. If anybody has any ideas of what can be on the capital improvement, just send them over to Dory. And then we'll take a look at them. And then we'll start the process of seeing if we want to submit articles in the next meeting that we have.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. And the next item, status of the fiscal year 2022 budget. Dory.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So that's just where we are, a snapshot where we are today. As you can see, I think, you know, it looks like we're okay. We are definitely going to be short in salaries, but we have the ability at the end of the year, May and June, to do transfers from expenses into salaries. And we have a lot of unencumbered funds, not a lot, but, you know, seeing how it's going, I think we're going to be able to do that. I don't think we're going to need to look for free cash or look for a reserve fund transfer from the Finance Committee. I think we're going to be okay in this fiscal year. But we'll take another look at it next month in February, because the articles aren't due until March. And if we'll know in a month, we'll have a better snapshot of where we stand. But right now, I think we're looking okay.
Awesome. Okay. Review of the revised lodge rental agreement. So this was over here, lodge rental agreement. Okay. And that that's not the same discussion with the Deb Loss Yoga contract, is it, Dory? Sorry.
No, totally separate, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman. Review of revised lodge rental agreement. I can take that if you like.
Yeah, please.
Sure. So that's just, you know, we're in the process of reviewing that the old rental agreement was old and it was outdated. So we're in the process of, this is the cover sheet. First, we thought maybe we'd do wedding, non-wedding, but we might be able to do both on one sheet. You know, you look at it and, you know, tell me what you think, but we have wedding information, then parties, corporate events, and company workshops. And this just answers all the questions with the new rates. I think the pertinent questions, and without any of the other stuff that we never really used. And then we'll follow up with all, you know, the guts of it, all the backup with, you know, the other stuff that goes along with it. But this is just a quick pass. So if you want to, you know, I'd love any feedback.
I mean, it looks good. I would just on the fee schedule with the wedding, I would just wedding only and wedding. I'd do wedding plus ceremony instead of just having wedding there. Because it would be confusing to me if I didn't know, if I wasn't in the discussion, which one I would
Very
have.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes, very.
yeah, wedding
Wedding
plus
only,
ceremony
wedding, yes, correct. Yeah, that's
for
it. Yep,
8,000.
good.
Is that rate right? Isn't it $1,000 to have the ceremony there, or was it 500?
500.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it
And
was
then-
500 for the
Okay.
wedding
500,
ceremony.
yeah.
I can go back
remember.
and look at the other ones.
Yep, it was 500. Yep,
Oh, it was 1,000 for the camping. That's right.
correct.
Yeah.
So it would be, most people camp, so it really is gonna be about a $9,000
Yeah.
wedding. Most people have the ceremony, most people camp.
I think this looks great.
Dory, what about the bar, the cleanup fee? Didn't we have it was, wasn't it
It
like
was a
100?
catering. It was a
Oh,
catering.
catering.
The
Sorry. it was
catering fee. Yep. Yeah. So the catering fee needs to be added on here. Thank you for that, Melissa.
Yes, exactly.
It was like
Okay,
$150 or something.
It
yeah,
was $150 if they have the caterer
Yeah.
come in.
just so that
But
they'll
that's
know that
only-
they need,
And that's for a wedding only. That's not for a
Correct.
private event. Yep. So that shouldn't be in the non-wedding.
Right, yep.
Yeah, thank you. I missed that, Melissa.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion on the lodge rental application agreement?
And we could bring it back next meeting. It's a work in progress and then we'll
yeah.
have more backup.
Awesome.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, so let me just move along to these two last items real fast. Hi, Trisha. I see that you joined. Just give us one more minute and we'll get over to you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to table the discussion on the lodge, the painting the lodge walls until we actually meet in person.
Yeah.
And then we also have update team members as well. I'm going to wait until Carolyn is in a
Mhm.
meeting in order for
Yep.
us to do that. So I'm going to table
Yep.
that discussion as well. And then I am going to the list of events for March. Everybody has a packet of that in there. We don't,
Mhm.
does anybody have anything they need to discuss for the list of events in March?
Yeah, so I was told that, I'm sorry, I should raise my hand. I was told that the Board of Selectmen are coming in for a meeting in March and that wasn't on there.
That's
So-
this Saturday, Audrey.
Oh, this Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
February
February. February, okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, they are coming though.
Yeah, so I was under the same impression as well, Audrey. And I talked to Dory today about it. So it is this Saturday that they are coming to the lodge.
Are they coming after yoga hours?
No, they're coming 9 to 5.
So
So
what happens to yoga?
So, yeah, so the town administrator told me that the Board of Selectmen will be meeting 9 to 5. So there's, I did talk to Deb and we thought, I have a space heater. I told her she's welcome to. We have a couple space heaters. Maybe she could do the library, or I don't know, but I was told by the town administrator that the yoga is bumped for the Board of Selectmen meeting this Saturday.
Melissa,
Oh, no, we can keep going on. I have something else, so we could
okay.
just keep.
Yeah, I mean, so we do need to vote on that Board of Selectmen meeting on there, just because it's part of the policies that any town department needs to vote from the Recreation Committee. I mean, does anybody have any discussion on that of the Board of Selectmen meeting on Saturday from 9 to 5?
Yeah, well, I don't agree with it. I don't agree that they just bump one of our contracted vendors with very little notification. I mean, our policies and procedures say that we give a free rental pending no other scheduling conflicts.
Melissa?
Technically, she's not contracted.
It's another thing as well. So okay, so I mean, so technically she's not contracted. We did offer her the library. I know that the yoga class could be, too small for that or too big for that. I'm not sure what the situation is. I've never been to yoga. But we do need to vote and approve the Board of Selectmen using the facility on Saturday. Is there any other discussion from anybody else for that?
Could the Board of Selectmen use the library?
I know,
Over? I don't even know why they're using it.
Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Through you, if I may. I know that it's a strategy session and I know that there may be members of the public, Hanson citizens in attendance. And it's 9 to 5. I don't know the details, but that's what I know. So the library is available, for yoga. So.
Saturday, I think the class is too big for the library on Saturdays.
Could be.
So Dory, you talked to Deb, correct?
I did. I talked to Deb as soon as the town administrator told me that the Board of Selectmen were going to be meeting this Saturday. I informed her right away.
Okay. And what did Deb say?
She said, okay, she said, well, it's Board of Selectmen. So she was going to, I said, maybe the library, we're looking, you can use the space heaters. And she said she'd look at other options too. And she said, okay.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen use of Camp Kawani on February
5th.
February 5th from 9 to 5 p.m. Anybody gonna,
So
uh,
moved.
so moved. Do I have a second for that?
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Melissa,
Aye.
Sheila,
yes.
Audrey,
No,
and I'm an I as well. So it'll be 3-0. Okay, so that is that. Okay, list of events from March, that's there. We'll do policy procedures after the discussion of the yoga contract. Okay, Tricia.
hold on.
Oh,
I need
sorry.
to abstain from this conversation if we're talking about Debbie's yoga contract. So I'm going to come off a video. If somebody could text me when the conversation's over, I'll rejoin the meeting.
Okay. Maddie?
Can I just ask, sorry, just to backtrack on the selectmen's meeting.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that I'm good on scheduling because I was told, so they only need an opener and a closer. They don't need someone to be there during the entire 9 to 5.
Exactly, Maddie. Opening
Okay, I
and
just want to make
closing.
sure.
Yep,
Okay, so I have
exactly
someone
right.
opening and someone locking up the building at the end and breaking everything down.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We'll do that, Audrey. I can send
Thank
you a
you.
text. Okay, okay, Tricia. For you're here for Deb Bloss
Yeah,
for the yoga
yes, sir.
contract. Awesome.
Yes, sir. So what do you need from me? I mean, I visited with her earlier, like, are you, am I to, she had some concerns with the contract
Yeah, I mean,
So
if you want to state her concerns that she had,
Okay.
we can discuss it here. I mean, it's one of those things that currently right now, she doesn't have a contract with Camp Kawani. She doesn't have a contract with the town since October. So theoretically, she shouldn't even be holding yoga classes at the camp because she doesn't have a contract with us. So, I think if you want to start off with anything that she told you, I mean, you're her representative here. So,
Right. Let me read what she wrote, and then I have some other pieces of information. She, just because these are her thoughts. I love Camp Kawani because it is such a beautiful, peaceful, and safe place to teach yoga. Unfortunately, I'm not able to afford to pay both a percentage and a caretaker fee. Recreational programs for the community should not be about turning a profit, but solely to provide programs that enhance the health and well-being for people of all ages and abilities. Per the contract, I would be paying approximately $700 per month. For that cost, I could rent a space where other activities, functions, or town business was not going on simultaneously. Raising my rates would be difficult based on the instability and unreliability of the space. As it is now, I'm not allotted a dedicated space to teach class. I have to move to another space mid-class or cancel completely if there is no space available that day. I have had to move tables, benches, and sweep before most classes. It would not be reasonable to ask people to pay yoga studio prices when we are executing the services that the camp should be providing. Again, moving furniture, tables, and sweeping. Yoga classes at the camp should be a win-win. The Recreation Commission can offer actual recreation to the town with minimal impact. Our yoga classes are not noisy or create dirty floors, and most importantly, they offer stress reduction and help build a strong, healthy, happy community. The space where I teach, whether it be indoors or outdoors, is left in the same condition as when class started, clean and tidy. My schedule for years worked around supporting the wedding revenue for the camp with the goal of making things easy for the staff. I did that with no questions asked. I'm not sure I understand why the yoga program and contract negotiations are controversial every year and take months to work through. I pay my rent timely, clean my space, and provide flexibility, but often do not get the same in return. The main reason I have stayed all these years is my love for the beautiful, peaceful environment and the dedicated group of women that have come for 10 years, regardless of the lack of support the program receives. In closing, if the end result is me finding a new home to teach, it will be a relief to no longer endure the stress that has progressively diminished the enjoyment of our yoga program. So Corey, when you say she technically shouldn't be teaching, I don't think that's her choice not to renew the contract. I just think she, has concerns, and I think it's hard to get, my understanding, get in front of the people she needs to go over those issues before she signs the contract. So I don't think she's trying to be difficult saying, I'm not going to sign it. I think she wants to discuss these issues, and I'm not sure why that does, take so long to happen.
I don't know why it takes so long to happen either. I mean, this would have been on the agenda when she had an issue, if she came to the committee, at least since I've been chair, which has been December 1st. So, or something along those lines, probably end of November. But so I do understand where she's coming from saying that, but we in our policies and the agreement that we have in the contract, she can have yoga here anytime where Dory's here and not pay that $15 fee.
Right.
So I'm not sure if there's some schedule she can work around to make it so she can only pay Saturdays, which wouldn't be, if she has yoga for 2 hours each Saturday of the month, that's not $700 a month. That's $120 a month that she'd be paying if that's her biggest class.
Right, but something to consider or think about is, and we didn't talk about this. I'm thinking, as I've been there for 10 years, when the Saturday class, there used to be weddings. And I'm not sure why the weddings, is it COVID that they've stopped? Maybe.
Probably in the past year and a half, or
right.
Probably yes. Yeah.
Understand that. But so when Saturday, she didn't need to pay that because someone was there. And it says in her contract, and I didn't read it, I kind of skimmed it because she said, take this in case you need it. But do you want her to pay 2 hours for someone? Is that what I read?
I mean, however long she's there for would be how much she pays for it. If she's there for 2 hours, then she would pay for 2 hours. So
now-
on section, unless Dory, you want to chime in on that one? I believe it's the hourly staff fee of $15 an hour.
Yes, exactly, Mr. Chairman, an hourly staff fee of $15 an hour. So I happen to know that the yoga class is, I believe Deb told me, an hour and 20 or 30 or whatever. So the 2 hours is the fee. But yeah, the point is that if Deb wants to do a yoga class and we need to call out a caretaker to open and close and be there while she's there, that the vendor would pay the fee, not us.
Understand that, Dory and Corey. I guess one of the things Debbie did want to discuss was paying the caretaker fee. And, I just have notes that, we do the cleaning. I think what she was with the caretaker fee, the floors, we move furniture, we clean the floors. And I don't want to go through all this, but
yeah,
and be nitpicky, but no one at the building for the afternoon class, had to text Jen. Dory arrived at 9:20.
Okay, so
yeah, I mean, there's
sorry.
pages. I'm not being, so when you're, the caretaker and, I don't know the caretakers. I'm just saying.
If she only needs a caretaker for an hour, then she only pays an hour. If she needs a caretaker for 2 hours, then she pays 2 hours.
But to your point, Tricia, if she's paying caretakers to be there, then the caretakers will be there.
Right.
They should be providing the services that they're. If they're not doing that while she's paying them to be there, that's another discussion, right? Like that's that's another discussion, right? Because theoretically, if she's paying those caretakers to move furniture, mop the floors, things like that before she gets there, then they should be doing that.
So maybe is it something to consider that you waive that caretaker fee because even during the week, we're being bumped. She's told that you're able to hold your classes at these times, and we're bumped, we're moved. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, the floors aren't clean during the week. I'm just stating,
Because not
I
paying.
help move
Uh,
and sweep, and so for what she's supposed to be getting and doesn't get even during the week, and the class is getting bumped, and people, and we understand people have to tour for weddings, but taking pictures and standing in the back, for the inconvenience and the environment that and the cleaning and that she's told you will get and not getting. Is there a compromise where she doesn't get, it's not a two-way street. She doesn't get what during the week on these 3 classes.
She's not paying either.
Okay,
Not paying for any
so
service.
hold on one second. So, give me one second, Trisha. Melissa, go ahead.
So, I really appreciate what Deb does. She's been there for so long, and she provides a great service, but it comes down to it's a business for her. Like, it's not, she's providing a service to the people of Hanson, but she doesn't work for the town of Hanson. She doesn't work for the commission. The commission is not sponsoring her to be there. She is charging people. It's a business. And unfortunately, we have other vendors that we have our paint nights, we have drama kids. They all pay the $15 fee. It's just not fair. Like, why? She's a vendor, so she should be like the other vendors and pay the $15 fee. And also, where the commission, Dory just said previously, she said, FY 2022 budget, we're going to be short on salaries. And that's the caretaker salary is, we're paying for that. We're covering that. We have been covering that the past year, and we've been going through, our budget has been slashed like 100,000, Dory, something like that. COVID killed us. So we can't afford to be covering and paying for caretakers. It adds up.
And I will say this, Trisha. I mean, what Melissa, I'm going to echo what Melissa said, because she does run a business. She does charge people to have those yoga classes there, and I understand that she might have some issues with the way that things are done when she does pay for a caretaker, but that doesn't mean that she can't pay the caretaker fee. That means that she has to tell us about that, though.
Corey, understand, but you can't ask people to pay more, which is ideally what she'd like to do. But if, class is canceled, well, we're moving, we're not having it here, we're moving over there. And, we're doing meditation, and, it's people are walking through. I mean, I've even said, I think you should increase class, but you can't. This is like not a train station, but you don't, it's just, we're bumped, and I'm not saying every class, but it happens.
How often does that happen though, Trisha?
What was that?
How often does that happen? And it's Frank, by the way, not Corey. I think you're mixing me and Dory up.
What's your name?
Frank.
Oh, Frank, I thought you said Corey.
No, it was probably me saying something to Dory, and he probably got mixed up. That's fine though.
Frank, I'm sorry.
That's no problem. No problem.
I will say I do like the look of, like, you look like you're live. I want you to teach me how to do that. But anyway, no, I'm getting the $15 for the caretaker. We can go back but I get that. But the tough thing is, for Deb to say, I'm going to raise my class, which I don't think she'd have a problem, but it's there. She doesn't have consistency. She doesn't know like you're saying Saturday, the library, she can't fit the class in there. I'm not being difficult. She'll have to cancel. So, the commission says you can teach these days and these times, but sometimes she can't. And I mean, I just, if she could raise money, raise the class fee, then she can't with how what goes on during.
Okay. Melissa, is your hand still up, or you have something
Well,
else?
just in terms of
Yeah.
that, I mean, everybody, businesses, small businesses, everybody's raising their rates these days. I mean, I can't, and I feel terrible that she would have to do that, but that's, unfortunately, that's not our concern. I just feel
Right.
bad. And I love Deb, and I think it's great that she does this. And, and the other thing too about caretakers, it's not that they clean the floors and all that. We legally have to have them in the building to open up and be there. We can't have you guys just there by
Right.
yourselves. It's a legal thing.
Understand that,
So, yeah.
Melissa, but they don't
Mhm.
clean the floors. The
Well,
floors
they
are
should.
dirty.
They
The
should be.
floor-
So that's the thing, Trisha. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if Deb is paying for caretakers to be there for yoga, then the caretaker should be providing us the service
Right.
Yeah.
But
that
Frank,
she's paying for.
Right, but Frank, that's not new. I've been going there 10 years and they're all lovely people. I don't even know them. I'm just this isn't a new issue, and
Okay. Well, I'm new to this issue though. So I haven't
Mhm.
been here for 10 years. I've been here for 5 months. It seems like 10 years, but it's only been 5 months. So,
Right.
but okay. So, I mean, that's a different issue I mean, I am more than willing to have a discussion with Dory and Maddie and make sure that the caretakers that are there that are paid by yoga are doing the things that Deb expects them to do. But I honestly, Trisha, I don't see a reason why she shouldn't be paying just like all of our other vendors do. We have drama kids and we have paint night that do the same thing, and they pay the fee just like she should be doing.
Right.
We have, Dory's there Monday through Friday from, I believe, 9 to 2 every day. She can schedule her classes at that time and she wouldn't have to pay this fee.
Right.
Saturday, if she has 2 hours on a Saturday, hopefully where she's not getting bumped. I don't, it would only be about $120 a month if she took 2 hours per Saturday. I don't think that's unreasonable. And I'm under, this is my opinion, I'm under the impression that if we do this for Deb, we have to do this for everybody. We have to do this for drama kids. We have to do this for paint night. It kind of saves us, because at this point we lose money on our salaries with the way that Deb had her contract before. And I do understand it's a small business, but if she scheduled her times to be, in when a caretaker's here, then I mean, she would have to pay that fee.
I
Actually, before
understand.
that, Trisha, sorry, hold on. Let's go to Sheila. I saw Sheila's hand up for the first time.
Hi, all right. Obviously, I'm walking in blind on this whole issue because I don't know much to it, but listening both sides, honestly, yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like if she's being set up as a vendor, yes, then obviously she should be paying just like everyone else. But my question is hearing what Trisha was talking about, and not to bring up all the dead weight with it all, but will she be treated as a paying vendor just like everyone else, or is her business going to be continued to be pushed to the side when something better kind of comes along? Perfect example, Saturday's meeting with the Board of Selectmen, or anything else wedding related or anything like that. Is that like a typical practice? I'm just asking. Do we just kind of push paying vendors out of aside for something that has to take precedence, or how does that kind of work?
I mean, that's a good question. That's a valid question. Melissa, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say it's not just yoga that gets moved around either. I mean, the paint nights have been in the library. We've done drama kids. We've actually pushed into the library as well. So it's not just, we're not singling out yoga. It's just, we have to be flexible because there's, we've got certain groups coming and going, and it's just the schedule. So.
Yeah, and I think too, the 9 to 2, Corey, I understand that. I think for people that work. She tries to offer a time for those that work 9 to 5, and I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying it's a community program, and hey, I can go every day between 9 to 2, but I'm not the norm. I'm that a lot of people work, and that's the Wednesday night and the Saturday morning. So the Saturday we tend to get, that can be the day where they get bumped, but she's just trying to meet, the people's needs that, can't do 9 to 2. So. Okay.
Which classes does she currently have, Trisha?
I'm sorry, Frank.
What's her class schedule currently?
Monday at 4, Tuesday 9:30, Wednesday 6:15, Thursday 9:30, and Saturday 9:30.
Okay, so at that schedule, she'd be paying for 6 hours total of caretaker fees for a
Right.
week. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Is there any other discussion on this? Okay. Okay. I mean, trying to think about what to do with that one. I mean,
Maddie has her hand up, Frank.
yep, Maddie, go ahead.
Sorry, every time I raise my hand, I feel like it falls down. So I'm just like, physically raising my hands. I have a question. So she isn't paying when Dory's there because there's already like a body there, but Mondays and Wednesdays you would have her pay because we have a second person coming in that would normally be on those hours. On Saturdays during the wedding season, is it the same thing though? Because one of us is typically scheduled to be doing wedding setup. So is it the same?
Anytime there's a caretaker on site, she should not have to pay that fee. From my understanding,
planned on.
Yeah, it's like already planned on site. So if there was a caretaker there, for a wedding and starts at 9, and then and she had yoga at 9:30, and then it didn't interfere with the wedding that was already there, then she shouldn't have to pay that fee. This is only for when there's no caretaker there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dory.
No, that's exactly right. And it's
Okay.
really, it's seasonal. I mean, in the summer, she'd rather be outside on the picnic tables or down at the beach. So it doesn't matter. It's this time of year when she's stuck in the lodge. The library is too cold. The library is too small. But in the spring and in the summer, she'd prefer to be in the pavilion or the picnic table or the cove. So it's just this time of year. And you're exactly right. If there's a wedding going on and there's a caretaker there, there's no charge. It's just that we don't have in our payroll, we're already in a deficit to call somebody out for 2 hours for a Saturday because Deb wants to do yoga. We can't afford it. If she wants to do yoga, then she can pay for it. If she doesn't want to pay for it, then don't do Saturday yoga, but we just cannot afford it. And I don't know, point of order, Mr. Chairman, it's up to you, but I think you should get going and entertain a motion.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one more thing?
Yeah, just
I'm
real quickly,
sorry.
Trisha, please, because I don't want to
This
be here
is-
for 4 hours either.
Yeah. Can the contract be adjusted when the weather's nice and we're not indoors and we
It's-
don't use the facility?
That's unmanageable. I mean, we can't manage that. I mean, that's I mean, we don't have that with any other vendor that we have there, Trisha. And honestly, like, who's going to remember that it rained that one Saturday in the middle of July that we wouldn't have to do it? I
Yeah,
mean, the only thing that I would say, Trisha, is that, if there's a caretaker on site and she doesn't have to pay that fee if there's already a caretaker scheduled for it. And I
Okay.
understand that it's a pain. But if she doesn't want her schedule moved around on Saturdays, then she just has to pay the fee.
Okay.
It would be unfair. It'd be favoritism of us to go over and say Deb Bloss doesn't have to pay this $15 an hour fee when everybody else has to pay it. And in July, when these contracts come up, if she wants to come to us and go through the contract and how she would like it changed, that's completely fine. But at this point, she doesn't have a contract with us, and for the amount of classes that she's already done since October 1st, when this contract was supposed to go into effect, there is she has to be paying that fee.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't. Yeah. So
I don't want to take up your time. I just want to establish, I don't think she's intentionally not having a contract. She just wanted to discuss the concerns and hasn't had the opportunity to do that. So you're,
And please tell Deb that anytime she wants to be added to the agenda, and this goes for any vendor who's listening on this call that wants to be added to the agenda to discuss a contract, tell me or Dory, and we'll add them to the agenda.
Okay.
It shouldn't wait 4 months to do this. So that being said, I will, I don't think we really need a motion, right? Because the
Yes,
contract is the
no.
contract.
No, please, Mr. Chairman, you need a
Okay.
motion, and I would
Okay.
also ask that it be retroactive to October 1.
Okay. So, okay.
Retroactive
From
For-
October 1, for
October
the
1.
$15 an hour, as every other contractor for the town of Hanson has been paying. She's been doing yoga without a contract. So the contract goes back to October 1, where the $15 administrative fee has. And anyway, Mr. Chairman, it's you're entertaining a motion.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to have Deb Bloss's yoga contract as it is written, retroactive to October 1st, 2021. Do I have a second?
So moved.
No moved. Okay, awesome. So
Chairman, may I
will-
just ask?
Yep.
So if there's no signature on the contract yet, so she's still doing yoga without a contract.
Mhm.
So would you just also say that she'll not do yoga classes till she signs the contract, or she's able to do the yoga contract until without the signature, just based on this vote that she will pay, retroactive back to October 1.
is
My
she-
concern is having her doing yoga classes without a contract since
She-
October
yeah,
1.
I mean,
That's
so-
been my big concern.
so she needs to have a contract for it. So she absolutely
Just
does.
needs to sign it.
Yeah, that holds us. So we're not liable for anything that were to happen there. Plus, the
Correct.
town does not like it.
I'm
that
just
she
trying to
doesn't have a
keep
contract. So-
everybody safe.
Okay, so let me take off the last motion I just made. So I will entertain a motion to have Deb Bloss's contract as written, and she will have to sign this before she resumes any other yoga classes, retroactive back to October 1st.
Can you
Thank
just
you.
give her a week, like, so we can do yoga in the morning at this point? Like,
Let me
are
see,
we
hold on
able
one
to,
second.
I mean, a little reasonable, I mean, I get.
Yeah,
but-
you know what? Yeah, no, you know what, Trisha? That's exactly right. So,
Yeah, could we
you know
just-
what
yeah.
I'll do? Yeah, yep. So I'll do until the 7th of February.
Thank you, Frank.
Okay. Yep.
Thank
So
you.
so I'll make that motion, but with the 7th of February, so they can do yoga up until the 7th of February. At that
Thank you.
point, she needs to have a signed contract signed, because that's the situation that Deb's in right now.
Thank you.
So let me do that. And then it has to be retroactive back to October 1st. So okay. Do I have a
Thank
second
you
for that
your
motion?
time.
So
Thank
moved.
you,
Second.
Trisha. So moved. Awesome. All those in favor, Melissa,
Aye.
Sheila,
Aye.
and I am an aye.
Thanks. Okay, I'm heading out.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Trisha. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Tricia.
Thanks.
We'll wait for Audrey to come back to the meeting before
Did you
we.
text her, Frank?
I did. I just
Oh, okay.
sent her a text. Yep,
Okay.
I just sent her a text. So I'll wait for her to jump back on real fast. Now all my papers are discombobulated now. Over here, I have.
Roger, the camp looks good, considering how much snow we got. I was up there tonight.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I got the upper parking lot and
Yeah.
the cove
Looks good.
because I didn't figure it would melt in time for the polo dive.
I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's this Saturday?
It is this Saturday.
Sunday.
Oh, here's
Saturday?
Audrey. Here's
Oh,
Audrey.
Sunday. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Roger knows better
Roger's
than I
like
do.
a secret angel that swoops in on Sundays and takes care of it. You don't even know. You just come to work on Monday and it's all done.
Yeah, so it's so they actually need that. So they actually need that. We'll wait for Audrey to come back.
She's here. She's here.
Okay, awesome. So we actually, I don't know how we can like clear off some of the snow on the beach. I don't know if it's gonna melt, but they need some snow on the beach taken off of there and up to the bathhouse as well. So-
Mr. Chairman, point of
Yep.
order. I'm sorry. I love this
No, it's
conversation.
okay.
Just keeping you on track of the agenda.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Audrey's here
Good
now.
job, Dory.
So we can go ahead. Thank you, Dory. Dory has
No problem.
someplace to be. So, okay.
No, I'm here, but I mean, I just keeping us all
Yep.
safe.
Nope. Keep me honest. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. So discussions on policies and procedures. Dory sent out a new list of policy or a new policies and procedures, a revised one that has some typo fixes in and some wording fixes in as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the changes on each of the pages. If everybody has that up and ready, and I'm just going to hit them one by one and go through the changes. If anybody wants to discuss any of those policy procedure changes, since I'm going to be looking down at my paper, please just say, hold it. And then I'll go ahead and we can go ahead and
Do you want me
discuss
to share my screen, Frank?
it. Yeah, if you want to, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Show off.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So and just to give everybody a heads up, once we go through and approve this, we will be asking this to be on the Board of Selectmen approval for the 8th of February. So this should be the last copy that we want to have up, unless we make changes to it that don't mean this. So so on the first page, we're just changing the date from January 31st, 2022. And then we have on the, let me actually get my other right here. Sorry. Okay, and then on page 5, if we go to page 5, we have an edit at the bottom that says Cove Director. In terms of responsibilities of all caretakers and recreation members. Then on page 8, most of these are just typos and just kind of, and we have a Board of Selectmen instead of Selectman. It's not a single one, so that's good. Okay, and then we can go ahead to page 9. Okay, and then we have the services. So no member of any town board, committee, or commission or town employee may utilize Camp Quaney, the services of Camp Quaney staff, or the Camp Quaney assets for personal use without paying the established fee upon the Recreation Committee and the Board of Selectmen. So there was just a couple of typos there. And if Dory, if these were a little more than typos, just correct me, because I'm assuming that these are
You're
typos.
100% correct.
Awesome. So page 10. Okay, so this was a change. This wasn't just a typo. Before, it had some other language in there that was kind of ambiguous, where it said, you know, they would pay a particular fee. This just says all events and vendors must pay a portion of the Camp Quaney's cost of services provided for their program, as outlined in the recreation facility license agreement with the town of Hanson. So this just makes it so our policy is matching whatever agreement that they have with the camp in their license agreement. So, and then also military deployment bookings at the bottom, we change selectmen and receive a refund. And that is, we go to page 11. Okay, motorboats on McQuon Pond. That's what we changed on there. Okay, we can go to 15. Okay, and we changed the Hanson 20% discount. In our policies and procedures, it was 10%. In the rates that we approved, it was 20%. So we are changing the policies and procedures to reflect the 20% rate that we have there. Also, there was a typo that was fixed on section 11 there. Is there any discussion about anything so far? No? Okay, great. So if we can go to page 17, please. Okay. So what we'll be doing is deleting the words Monday through Friday for any town department, as long as it doesn't conflict with a scheduled event. If somebody wants to hold a function here and we don't have a scheduled event with it, it just requires a vote of the recreation committee or the recreation department. And then, so we'll just take out the Monday through Thursday.
So this is a change then, because previously town departments were only allowed to have a free rental Monday through Thursday. So now we're saying that they can have it anytime.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't conflict with an event. Yep. And obviously we still need to vote on that. So it requires a vote for us. It doesn't matter what day it is or if there's an event or not. If a town department wants to use the facility, they have to get a vote from us in order to do that. So, and that is also on step 3. And then also on the subcontract services, we changed the Board of Selectmen. There's an extra period at the end of that that'll have to be changed. And then page 19, please. This was really weird. It was like the computer cannot be used by anybody except for the recreation director under the guidance of a recreation director for something like that. It was like really ambiguous terms. So the computer in the office is owned by the town of Hanson, shall be used for camp and business, town of Hanson business only is what we changed it to. you have to have a password to get into it anyway. So, and that should be the last change that we have. So is there any discussion on any of those changes or any of those edits that were the policies and procedures? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the policies and procedures as edited that we just went through and submit it off to the Board of Selectmen for approval.
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second. Okay. All those in favor, Melissa,
Hi.
Audrey,
yes.
Sheila,
Yes.
and I'm an I as well. Awesome. We will do, so we'll table the job descriptions until next meeting.
Mhm.
So we don't need to worry about that.
Hey, Frank, can I just go back to events in March? I just wanted to
Sure.
bring up, is that okay if I
Yep, go ahead.
go back? So Sheila and I met over the weekend about the Winter Wonderland. And I know we originally had it for like the Saturday before February vacation. Obviously, I think it's too close right now to do any real planning. So we had talked about doing it in March. And it would be, last year it was 2 days. We agreed this year we should just make it 1 day. And Sheila, I think we had talked about Sunday the 6th, right? I think we had talked about.
We actually settled on the 13th. You were going to check to see if anything
Got
else was going on.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So I'll get with you. I don't think there's anything on the calendar right now.
We have something on the 12th, but there isn't anything on the 13th.
Okay, so yeah, we were gonna look on that, and then there's just some details. The next meeting, we can talk about what we're thinking, and I did recruit your wife, Frank, so she's gonna help us out planning it.
Good.
So,
Good.
so I appreciate it. But I
Awesome.
just wanted to tell you about the date change.
Okay, great. It's surprising she didn't tell me anything about that. So.
It was just
Not
today.
like,
It was
not
just
like she
today.
would. Okay, not like she would anyway. But okay, yeah, yeah. As long as it's clear and open, then that will be fine. I don't know. Do you want to bring that up next meeting so we can vote on it? Do you want to vote on it? Can we vote
I
on
don't
it
even
now?
think. Do we have to vote on it? I don't even think we do.
Block
do
off the
we?
day. So no,
I
No, I
think
don't think it requires a vote, Mr. Chairman.
Maddie.
Can I just ask, I
Sure.
saw the 2 paint nights in here for March. Or no, sorry, maybe it's February. Do we have
I-
times for those 2 paint
I
nights?
haven't confirmed with her, Maddie. Those are TBD right now.
Okay, because one's
Yeah.
for, it's all next weekend and I have to make the schedule to make sure I
Yeah,
get people scheduled.
right now we haven't done anything yet. So
Okay,
just consider them not going to happen.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that. If we just block off the calendar for the 13th, if you guys want to do the Winter Wonderland that day, be fine. Awesome. Okay. So we will go next to team reports, but before we go to, actually, is it? Okay. I'm sorry. No, we'll go to team reports. Is there anything to report from any of the teams? I know that on the maintenance facilities, the sole team member here. I did walk the camp with Roger on Sunday of last week and went through, took pictures of a lot of things that need to be fixed, a lot of things that need to be changed, a lot of things that, that need to be altered, trees and things like that. So I'm going to be making a report about all of the stuff that I had. I'm going to have Roger write up a kind of a detailed description of what he thinks needs to be done there. And then I can bring it to everybody here and we can kind of start going through that process and figuring out what we want to do, what needs professional help with, what we can do here ourselves and things like that, and kind of make that whole process a little bit more transparent for us. So what I'll do is I'm still working on that. I haven't been feeling too good the past couple of days. So I will get that by the next meeting that we have. Do we have anything from the social media team or the Cove team? No? Awesome. Okay. I will do departmental updates.
Oh, Maddie, did you have your hand up? I'm sorry. No, you're good. Okay.
Okay. Departmental update story.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So tomorrow marks the 7th day where if we don't get a quote that's lower, we will be able to go with Eagle Construction and begin the roof work in the kitchen. Yep. So that's great. And they're prepared to do it through the month of February, coordinating with Scott Sheet Metal to get all that work done, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's great news.
Yeah, that is. good
Dory,
news.
how many days did they give how many days they said a week? Is that how many or for the work?
For the roof work, probably
Yeah.
3 days. Yeah,
Okay.
and then but then there's the Scott Sheet Metal work, but
Right.
it will be. They both know that our time frame is end of February, so they're able to work within our requested time frame, which is great.
Great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and then our insurance money for the recent storm, we should be getting soon. We have all the information into them, and we'll be able to get all the other stuff that Mr. Chairman was just talking about needs to be done, and we'll be able to get going on that too. So I think that's all I have to report at this time.
Okay, and before we go to the caretaker report and everything like that, a couple things that we need to do in regards to caretakers. So first thing is we need to have all of the caretakers take their ethics training because they are municipal employees and that's required by the state. So I don't know if Maddie has her hand up. Go ahead.
Sorry, do I take it twice if I take it for the school too?
I don't. That's
Probably
a great
not.
question. I don't think
Okay.
you'd have to, but
I don't
that's a
mind,
good.
I
I'm
just
not going
wanted
to
to-
answer that. I'm not going to answer that
Okay.
question because I don't know. So I don't want to get into any kinds of trouble. But Dory, if we can send out something to all the caretakers and saying, you know, we need this ethics training completed, and I'm not sure if town hall needs a signed form regarding the ethics training and things like that. So if we can just facilitate for all the caretakers to get that
Yep.
and have them complete that, hopefully by the end of February. And if they need if they need a computer or something like that, I'll plop one in the office that they can use for it or something like that, so they can do that during shift. So also, that being said, the recreation committee, I think other than Sheila, because you probably just did this, but everybody, we also have an ethics packet that we got from the town clerk that we also need to sign as well. So if you haven't done that yet,
So,
you know, so
perfect.
that's a note. What was the other one that I had? Yeah, I think that's actually it. So I'll go over the caretaker report. Maddie, do you want to start?
I only had two things because some stuff I'll just save. One was I went to Restaurant Depot and I got paperwork, but I needed specialized forms. And I dropped them off today with Dory, but we had missed each other because I came later after she was done. But there's just special things that I need like physical copies of, and I don't know how to get them. So I'm hoping if I leave them, she'll be able to find them because she knows all that stuff better than I do. And then the only question I had is I filled out the front of the form. And then there's some forms just signing off saying like terms and conditions, those kind of things. I was curious, do you want me to sign off on those or do you want Dory to sign off on those?
I would have Dory sign off on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
I
have
left
Dory
the whole
sign.
thing with you, Dory.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
And then
Yep.
when you're done, just let me know. I'll stop by and grab them and I'll take them down to Restaurant Depot. And I didn't walk through because I didn't have the card or anything to get in. But once that's all filled out, I'll go in and get the card and I'll just walk around and see if they have any like sweetheart tables that we need. And if not, then I'll send you guys the links to the ones I found online.
Thanks
That
for doing
place
that,
is
Maddie.
fun. Yeah, that
Yeah,
place is fun
thank you.
anyway. I don't know if you ever walked through Restaurant Depot, you can buy 400 pounds of pasta with no issue. It's awesome. Yeah, yeah, tell me about it. I
We
love
eat
it.
on the
So
same day.
yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna continue on going before I get another point of order over here. So is there anything else from caretaker reports, Maddie?
The only other thing that I was going to bring up last week, but the meeting was so long, we talked about at our caretakers meeting, the conversation of the attic. And I just wanted to open that conversation back up. That doesn't have to be today, just like a conversation to eventually have with you guys about opening up the attic and trying to get that utilized since we're having trouble with where the brides go and that kind of stuff. We talked about it at the meeting, Frank and Audrey there, but obviously the elevator is the dream goal to have, but that's going to take a very long time to obviously get into place. So we had thought about, I don't know how this would work. I don't know how they work, but if it's something that you guys would be interested in, we could look into, would be because it's the handicap accessible problem that we're having with the attic. But I think the sooner we can get that going and then we eventually work into the elevator, which will take probably a couple of years to get going. We talked about like maybe a chairlift, if that's an option, if that's a thing that would cover a handicap accessible situation. We have a bathroom up there, would just need to be updated, and we have that giant room, but it's not worth sitting upstairs and making all the work to fix that upstairs if they were not going to be able to use the attic anyway. So I haven't put anyone up there to start working on it. But it could be a great space that we could use. I just feel like that'd be a cool priority to put
We would use it for office space, right? We wouldn't use it for like brides going up there, or will we use it for brides going up there?
The idea would be the brides would go up there
Okay.
to get ready in that big room.
Can you write up like a little plan on what you would need to get that room fully operational for the brides, and then we can take a look at it and we can go off and figure out if that's something that we can do. There might be grant money for that too. I to be honest, I don't know. I don't even know if we would we be grandfathered into something like that on because the lodge is so old. Audrey?
We are not grandfathered in. If the public is going to use that area, then it has to be handicap accessible.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you could just write up some kind of plan on what you would need to do to make it fully operational, and then we'll go ahead and figure it out from there.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics on what they consist of handicap accessible and like what all those rules work with and things like that. But I can write up a list of like what our game plan was for the attic and what we'd be utilizing it for, and then see if a chairlift would even be something that we could make that
Yeah,
a usable
or if a
space.
chairlift even counts. I don't
Right,
know
that's
if a
what I mean.
chairlift
I don't
even, yeah, I
know.
don't even know if a chairlift counts in something like that. So,
Yeah.
it could be that or yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, if you could just do that, that'd be great.
Okay. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, awesome. Roger, do you have anything?
Yeah, just a few little things here. What Frank didn't tell everybody is he didn't just walk the camp once, but he did walk it twice. After we took our tour together, showing him what was going on, we actually ended up with a tour for some customers, which were turned
Yeah.
out very well.
Me and Roger are a pretty good wedding tour guys. I'll tell you that. Like,
Uh-oh.
we do a
Feel
pretty
free
good
to
job.
take it
So
over. Come on
I
in.
might have to. I don't know. Yeah, that was
right,
good for them.
All right, the next thing I did send to Frank, updated pricing for a pressure washer and a saw. The saw was already discounted, so the price on that would be $439.99. And a pressure washer that was not the top of the line, but is still recommended, brought it down to $499.99.
Yeah, so I saw the quote for that, and I'm sorry, I should have had Dory include that in the packet. So we do need a pressure washer for a lot of things around the camp, roofs and chimneys and things like that. And we absolutely do need a saw. And it wasn't the $700 pressure washer that Roger requested last time for the steel one, and it's $1,000 for both. So and it is through Morgan Power, which has an account with the town. So I would actually entertain a motion to approve.
Hang on one second, Frank.
Okay, go ahead.
I do want to add a second chain in there for, he quoted $25, so we'd have a swap out chain for the saw.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to purchase a steel chainsaw, a steel power washer, and an extra chain for the amount of $1,000. Do I have a so move for that? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, a second.
Second.
Awesome. Okay, so all those in favor, Melissa,
Aye.
Audrey,
Yes.
Sheila,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. Okay, so we'll probably need that sooner rather than later, Roger. So
Yep.
I'm not to work with Dory to go through the purchasing process of that. Whatever she has. Maddie, she had her hand up like halfway. Go ahead.
It was like a half hand, sorry. I just realized I was at the lodge today, and I just wanted to throw this on the radar that we've had a lot of issues before with the ice dangling on the front steps. Colin told me that the rain guard got hooked this time, and it kind of all the weight pulled it down and kind of snapped it.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I don't get in contact with Ed. I don't know how, I don't, because we don't pass each other very often, and he doesn't have
Right.
cell phone. So if someone could just pass along the message that we need to kind of rebuild that front, because ice has always been the issue in the front there with the icicles dangling.
I'm going to try and work with the roofers when they replace that section of roof. It's going to come down into that area and see what we can do to resolve that issue. I did see it. I broke off a big chunk of that ice. I was hanging a lot lower than what it is right now, or maybe it melted today, but it was hanging real low. But hopefully we can resolve that with the roof repair.
Yeah, I think Colin tried to hit it and it dropped. So I was on his last limb anyway. It falls
Exactly.
every time. So eventually
Yep.
it was going to snap. So it
Okay.
finally-
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, anything else, Roger? Or is that it?
I had one more, let me think. Should have written it down.
That's okay.
Oh, I know what it was. I did have a meeting with the building inspector. Things went very well. He wants a few more drawings, so I'm going to be working on those as well over the next few weeks and get back to him sometime, probably mid-February, and try and keep this thing moving along.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so that's good for caretaker reports. No other things like that. Great. So our next meeting will be February 14th. would be the next meeting date that we
15th.
have. 15, yeah, sorry. We
15th.
had this discussion last time. 14th is
Hello.
Valentine's Day, can't be done. So we'll have it on the 15th, February 15th. Hopefully it'll be in person, that we have this so we can go through some of the other items that we have. But yeah, we'll set it for the 15th. Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
So moved. I got a second?
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Melissa,
aye.
Sheila,
Yes.
Audrey,
Yes.
and I'm a yes also. Great. Thank you, everybody.
Good
Thanks,
night.
guys. Have a good
Have a
week.
good night.
Good night.